Hello again. I'm going to try a second time to make this video. I did one earlier this evening and somehow managed to delete it before I'd even got it onto YouTube. So I'm going to start again. Made this card using a technique where I embossed with white embossing powder on one side of vellum and then turned the vellum over and stamped with the same stamp in a coloured ink. And the coloured ink obviously shows through the vellum. For that, I used a large background stamp that I bought from Simon Says Stamp, and I think it was by Impression Obsessions. These are rose leaves, I think. And lots of people were saying, well, I haven't got that stamp. I can't find that stamp. I think it might have stopped being sold. So I thought I'd look through my stamps and see if I could find another way of achieving something similar, but with individual stamps. And I came across this set, which I'm not sure I've actually used before, also from Simon Says Stamp. They're Simon's own stamps, and they're leaves, and this one's got quite a nice bit of texture on, so I thought I would try those. I've put some onto acrylic blocks here. That's the one I made. I'll just put that out of the way. And here is a piece of vellum. Looks like it's got a bit of a dirty mark on it. Let me look at a clean piece. That's better. If you have new polymer stamps and they don't seem to be accepting the ink too well the first time, what I usually do is just rub them on the back of my hand or on my forearm. And I don't know, they just seem to accept the ink better, brand new stamps. So rub on the back of your hand, and hopefully, people have tried all sorts, sanding them, and I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to try and achieve this effect, but with individual stamps rather than using a whole background stamp. So a little anti-static pad on there. I'll put it on here. Do that later. Right, some Versamark, and away we go. I never quite know whether we ink the stamp or dab the stamp onto the ink pad, but whatever, we'll be fine. I do a few of these going off the page. I don't know what I'm going to use the background for eventually, but I won't use the whole thing because on a clean and simple card it would be too much decoration. Okay, there's a few of that maple leaf. Let's now do this rowan or mountain ash, it looks like to me. One of those families anyway. With this technique, it's great if there is some gap between the images, because in those spaces would be where the stamping on the reverse of the vellum would show through. So we do actually it's quite nice to have a few little gaps. On the big background stamp, some of the stamps did overlap. The stems touched each other. So let's have a look at that. It's very difficult. You can't see what I'm doing. I can hardly see what I'm doing myself. I think I'm going to leave it at that. I haven't used the little one, but we won't worry. That's fine. Now I'll get this piece of paper back to put on some white embossing powder. There we go. I think that's got it. into the pot. There we go. Now to heat emboss this. There's quite a lot of gaps on there. You may be able to see that much this time. Now heat it. Okay, I think that's got it. If you try and turn this over a bit too soon, while this is still a little molten, it will smudge. So just make sure that it's cooled down and set properly before you turn it over. Okay, that's fine. Now I'm going to turn it onto the reverse, and this is where I'm going to use baked brown sugar, would you believe? Baked brown sugar. How wonderful does that sound? Right. Haven't cleaned my stamps from the Versamark. I don't think it matters. Right, let's just pop these on. That was a bit of a faux pas, but I think it's all right. Don't want them going the same way as the other ones. Let's try the maple leaf. Try putting the ink on the stamp this time. A few more to do. It's kind of hard to see where I'm going. I think I'll use this one. There's a skinnier bit. I can put some in there. One more little bit. Now I think I'll leave it at that. Now, if I put it on this white, you should be able to see it. There we go. It's really quite pretty, isn't it? Can you see that? It's really quite pretty. I'll hold it up. So I can make a new card using this. So if you don't have a background stamp, fear not, you can do it with something else instead. So, another way of doing a fabulous vellum background. Thanks so much for watching.